Alright, so some of us are kind of wondering what's behind that front nose there. Let's take a look. You guys are close. There's some rust pits along here. They're coming from the inside out. So the lower nose almost always has to come off of every bus. Even though the bottom doesn't look that bad, really. I mean, compared to some of them I've done. That whole bottom piece, usually I've seen rust holes all the way along there. Most of mine have. And but I really want to see what's behind here, and let's just take a look. I got the plasma cutter set up. We'll open that thing up, and we'll do some more cutting on this thing. Those of you guys who are new to the channel, make sure you check the playlist 67 Westphalia, VW Bus Westphalia. That'll help you find videos on how to do sensible, practical rust repair. Not this butt welding stuff that some guys do that's like everything's beautiful and perfect. If you're one of the guys who thinks you can't do it because of that, you're going to want to watch these videos. It might help you get through something. Put some welding gloves. Didn't get my gloves out, so sorry about that, guys. Put them on. In fact, I can't have them on. I can't push start on the camera with the gloves off. So sorry about that. We'll get started. You could use a cutoff wheel, but I'm using a plasma cutter because it's quieter. Not noisy. Alright, let's speed this up a little. So faster. You hear my voice, but it's kind of weird saying it. Put your tip on here. Right, your tip. See if it does any better. Think it'll be better or worse? Well, here's the first surprise. Does that look like rat's nest? I think it is. Yep. Tore up that foam. Yeah, it's pretty bad shape. Alright, let's take a look here. So, yeah. It's not a surprise, really. I guess it is, but, I mean, anybody else surprised? Look how bad this thing was. So, the question is okay, let me evaluate this with you guys. If you have one of these that's bad, I have changed these before, this inner panel, and it's no cakewalk. It's not that, I mean, it's, you know, it depends on how you want to handle it. So it attaches to these two brackets. These two brackets are part of it when you buy it. So they attach to the frame, top and bottom. Same thing over there. There's that little brace piece, goes across, two brackets that attach to the frame, and you have to weld it from the inside here, and then, yeah, you know what I mean. It's a little tough. It's not easy. It has to be fit in there. Trying to think of the other things it has. I think it's actually attached to the floor, I mean to the nose. So what's to say about decision making here? What's easier, to replace the whole thing? It's not rusted up here. It's just a little bit of surface rust, or to make the lower portion of it. So that's kind of what you got to decide here. I don't know. I've done it the other way. I made the whole, I mean, I bought the whole thing and installed it, and it's, I think it goes to right here. It goes up to right here, and then out, and has this weld point. So this weld point looks pretty solid. I had to peel this off of here, but it looks pretty solid. I think once I get the rat stuff out of there, then you know, I'll know how bad it is. I think that does seem like it's pretty solid there. This lower part's bad. I'm thinking maybe I'll just make it goes down, if you kind of see here, it goes down, makes an S outward, and then it comes down, and then gives you a weld point all the way along the bottom for this piece right here. So you can see that. We set it over there. Like that. That piece bends. It just they send them out straight. If you order one, they'll send it out it's straight, and then you bend it when you get it just to fit. And then the lower nose goes over that. So that's like there's 3 pieces to the nose. So that's why if you have rust in your lower nose, you're probably going to have, you may have this problem. I've had them where the lower nose, this piece here, was like perfect, almost, just a little couple of holes in it, and then the inner part was totally rotten like this. And I've seen them where the outer skin was just had holes in it, and the inner thing was solid. So it's, you know, usual rust, you know, there's no such thing. It's kind of like usual rust is lots of it, I guess, you know. So I get the vacuum out, clean that out, and then I'll bring you guys back in. Alright, so we're going to whack this back piece off right here. And then this corner down here. Let you guys check it out. Going fast motion. As you can see, the back. So as you can see, that battery tray was solid. Right. I mean, this is more solid than some of them I've seen, but wouldn't say this is solid. But still has that thing, which is weird. How did that survive? Well, the rest of that I got to cut out of here. This one here, the support rail was shot, which is more common. And this one, it was not that bad at all. Pretty solid, just a little rough. But so I'll make the little rail for this one, and then yep, use something. Maybe I'll even just use some square tubing and bend it. How's that sound? I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet, but I'll make something for that and then get started on these corners. But it's gonna be a little while before I get to them. I got a lot of work to do before I get to these. I just wanted to cut it off. Since I had the plasma cutter set up, I set it up on 220. I didn't have the 220 cord for it. I set it up on 220. Man, it works way better. Works terrible on 110. Works good on 120. 220. All right, this is for the VW bus guy. Anybody see his comments? He's over in Australia. He's gonna make one of these things from scratch. He's making a whole bus from scratch. There you go. 6 3/8. 6 1/4 I think is what it is, because it's but I don't have anything in metric, so I can't help you there. You have to convert it. 6 3/8 I would say is from the top of here to the bottom of that weld point. So anyway, this piece looks pretty solid. Okay, except for down here. And right there. Got a couple troubled areas. But what's going on is what's above it is rusted. And mainly what I'm going to try and do with that, because really what that is, it's a filler panel between. Let's look at the inside. It's a filler panel. I think it's actually All part of this piece right here. So it goes all the way up to here. But I mean, I can live with that. What I'm gonna do is people go, "Oh my God, you're not gonna fix it." You know, you got to make decisions. You know, it's like when I'm gonna cut this out and I'll just repair it. But some of the rust that's in the bottom of it, there's always rust in the bottom of these. Okay, if you really want to change it all, go for it. But this that panel sets on top of here. This panel's still pretty solid. Like I said, up here, it's not. It's what's above it. You can see here, it's separated between the two. So what I'm gonna probably do is maybe I'll open this up just a little bit more, and then I'll just take it up maybe another ½ inch or so, and maybe an inch above where it is. And then what I'll do is I'll do a repair in here. I'll treat all this so that it'll be pitted, but it's gonna rust again here. They always do, because, you know, I don't know, the water always seems to get in here and there's no place for it to go. So they always have rust in these noses because of that. It was just a poor design the way it was made, and it wasn't made to last. So there's really, you know, you got to manage some of your rust, because some of it's like, it's just going to be there. You're going to have places on your bus that you can't fix it. So this side's really solid. So I think what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to try to make the bottom. We'll see how that goes. Because the funny thing is it goes like this, and it kind of goes in, then it comes back out. And the new panel, if they still sell the Clocker Home one, I don't know if they still have it. I think they do at Wolfsburg West. They still sell the Clocker Home, and that one, it's not straight. You know what I mean? It doesn't fit the other panel out. You have to straighten it out anyway. So the way I look at it is, if I just take and I just cut away all this rust, treat everything here, and then make a piece of metal that goes down and sort of does this shape, comes out and does an S. I can probably make that on the bender pretty easy. And then and it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, it can have slits in it. It can, you know, all it is a weld point for this, you know. So it's not like a critical piece. All it is a weld point for that thing. So, you know, I'm going to make a decision on this. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but stay tuned and we'll find out. So anyway, that's it for the front cutaway. Talk to you guys in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for this series. It's going to be interesting.